Apple. Where's like, you saw the word. We're ready.
This whole half room like all black, dark, red. This room, bright colors, flowers. So- Okay, if you didn't grab a breakfast sandwich, there is McDonald's from Marky Mark, and everybody is smiling. That hit the spot. I saw a lot of people like, ooh,
Oh, there you go. Right, that maybe, that way.
it's baby.
I
It's just
haven't seen her in so long.
right, and she still looks like a baby.
All right,
Just
now
keep
I'm
holding
on,
the
so now
microphone.
everybody else can hear me.
Start, hit the got it button. A little bit with your, sorry, I just had to drive me. Meeting. All right, we're bringing it back. We brought it back last week. We're doing our bucket fills. Who's gonna kick us off with a bucket? If you
It
don't,
could- It could be anything. It doesn't have to be anything here.
I'm seriously not grateful for anything. It doesn't have to be work related.
Peter,
Peter,
I'm grateful for the office staff and all the support I get.
oh,
why thank you, Peter.
It's my personal life.
We love you, Peter.
it was Peter's birthday last week.
Was.
Yeah.
It took him a whole week to recover because he's back now.
He's finally back. Maybe we're gonna give you a high five. I haven't seen you in a minute. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good.
Who else has one?
You get the gold star today.
Does anybody online have one? See a little in the chat box. Is it anything or no? Can't hear you. Can hear you. Okay, well, I have one. I know I was thinking or whatever, but I'm super thankful for little Miss Jordan. You know, she's the same age as my kids. But it's just so different talking to her because she always knows what to say, how to pick me up. Every once in a while, I
You
just
might
need
need to
that
pick
little
her up.
something. Like today when she told me there are wrinkles. No, I'm so thankful for her, like always a very positive little spirit. Thank you. What else do we have? Nobody's thankful you didn't get like, oh, in here, because I know that that was getting a new car. So I thought maybe she'd be happy and thankful for that.
A new car.
She called me this week. Mhm,
Wow.
getting a new buggy. Yep. And a new buggy. What else? It's a quiet group.
How do you feel the life by the time?
Yes.
Great. Well, I'm super thankful for all of my partners, in the way that I built my business by being in conversation with everybody and be able to travel with my kids, do all the things that they love and still work probably more than full days while they're doing all their things. And everybody's like, my gosh, we're like, great, you're always traveling. Little do they know I'm grinding at the same time. Which is okay. I mean, it works out just fine, but I'm super thankful for everybody that works with us. Ask how the kids do their tournaments. It's so fun to go and come back. Keep on going. Doing what we talked about, building life with my
Great job. You're good.
Wow.
Yes.
Grateful that it's Tuesday. Signing, it's been very nice out. It has meant good things for the real estate market. We all a little bit busier. And the numbers would say we are,
Mhm.
which is a good thing.
Go on that.
Yeah, keep moving, right, guys?
We got that.
All right. Right, so we're gonna bucket fill the guy who brought us breakfast this morning. Right? Mark, come on down, but while you're doing that, buddy, I'll tell you, you know, Mark, you are always the greatest guy that we all know, right? You're kind, you're always here to give back. You always have something nice to say. You always have a good smile, brother. So thank you very much. We're glad to have you here this morning.
Fortunately.
Yeah, you're screwed. You're screwed, bud.
Nice to be here and don't forget the breakfast sandwiches because I don't want to bring them with me, so. Yeah. Here, I want to share a few things that have come up in our office recently with some purchase agreements that are coming in. So one of them is not showing legal descriptions, especially if they're purchasing more than one tax parcel. Condominiums that are out there that have separate tax IDs, numbers on parking stalls, storage spaces. So when they lived in a condo, they actually lived in a co-op, but their apartment number or their condo apartment number and their parking stall and their where they'd store everything, their storage space, all numbers were different. So I'm assuming that I guess they had different tax ID numbers. So if you're sending that in, make sure that you have that all in on the purchase agreement. It says then it's not provided on the purchase agreement, it may get missed and not transferred. Another example that they put in here that they wanted me to remind you of is that sellers own adjacent lots. Selling different lots. The purchase agreement only mentions one of them. This would lead us to believe that the sellers are planning on keeping the other lot. Did a claim in the situation like this, and the underwriter determined that we would not have known if the other parcels would be part of the purchase. So you as an agent might know, seller knows, buyer might even understand that they're going to buy in both lots, but place on the purchase agreement only says one lot. Then only swings one lot. And lastly, executing the purchase agreement, if an LLC corporation is selling or purchasing the name of the company listed along with the person who is signing on behalf of the company. If the person signing is acting as a personal representative as the owner is now deceased, it's nice to have them sign stating personal representative of after their name. So these are some of the things that we have noticed this year. Here's what I'll say though. Jennifer Jewell and Sarah Heine, who are the processors, they've said anything coming in from Keller Williams has been wonderful. We've had no problems. But some of the other ones from other brokerages have had situations, and sellers bringing in their files have been a problem more than the buy side. So just wanted to share those things with you. That's what we've been hearing. Something on the. Other than that, is there any questions? Thank you guys, appreciate it. Great day.
Always bringing the knowledge. Literally, like there are breakfast sandwiches back there. You guys know what I was grateful for today. All right. All right, well, let's talk about some of the things that are currently on the market. Let's see. Jay, I think we talked about this one last time. 1556 Gateway Path on the market.
Still in the market, we have showings, but nothing.
Nothing yet. Appreciate that. Let's see. Lynn's not in the room. Lynn's not in the room. Sean's not in the room. Elizabeth. You want to talk about that one, Alex?
Sure. It's 630 Mariner, 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom unit. The location of it is awesome. It's right across the street from Target, Sam's Club, Walmart, close to the highway. You know, in Woodbury, and I will say it has more guest parking than in South. There's 9 spots in front of the house. So it's an awesome. So you can have a party. Yeah, oh yeah, great for parties.
All right. Let's see. The last one was Chad's lease that he talked a little bit about last week. I was actually in the neighborhood this weekend. I had driven by there, so that's a really great location. We're gonna be doing some cool things on that side of town. So,
Don't forget to use that QR code if you have buyers and you're looking for something. Because there's a full list of anything that we as a market center are active is on that list. So definitely use that. Ongoing one. Should add that. We're gonna make a QR code that'll pop into your little flip charts. How's that? Because that'd be a good one. We're gonna check that.
We don't have a withheld list, right? I mean, we have like the one that nobody enters in, but
No, we don't. Are we thinking that would be helpful?
we have it, right? It's just us, we need to enter our withheld.
I'm wondering, is that, you pull that? You know, we could do two different QR codes. Like, okay, we could do like a QR code. So, I mean, you don't have to do anything. You know what I'm saying? So instead, create a QR code. We can add it to the Roseville Connect, as well as to the flip charts that'll have active listings, current withhelds. Better than asking for like bouncy house or a swimming pool.
buyer
Yeah,
needs.
any buyer needs? Perfect. I was to say, I feel like you have a laundry list by that deep sigh you took.
I have someone looking south of Marshall. Oh, yeah. Okay, I have someone looking for a 1,500 square feet. Main floor. South of Marshall. St. Paul. Lisa Walker,
Full car garage.
under 450. That's on the right? I need a South Washington County. At least 3 bedrooms. Under 700.
3-bed cottage. What did you say?
Have a growing. Market Township. And then I need something worth the 94. 300. At least 3 bedrooms.
94 bed. Plus, that one seems tough. Anybody else?
Keep going if you do.
Come on.
Okay, I have one, I got a 6 a.m. text this morning. They want a 3-bedroom, yard. Anywhere. They're just looking for somewhere within 40 minutes to a city. Like, I have not met with their lender, but I'm guessing it's around 3 or there. Wisconsin. I have one coming in Oak Creek, Wisconsin. Okay, if you don't know where that is. What is it called? It's East of Blair. It's a really cute up and coming town.
What's it called?
Fall Creek,
Oak Creek.
you know? South Dakota Katie Holmes sitcom. And Balsam Lake, the back of not the lake, is a 3+ bed, 3 bath. Off the mill pond, not on the water. Probably list for under 350 this time.
Was there someone who wanted to use that one? I have a good listing this week.
I have a new listing this week. It's in St. Anthony Park, which is in St. Paul, Minnesota, not St. Anthony, Maine, or St. Anthony Village, which is Minneapolis.
St. Anthony Park.
St. Anthony Park, yep, which is right near 280 in Como. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 3-car garage, 2-car garage in the back and 1 car in the front. This house is a 3-level split. It's very interesting. It's very kind of a modern looking house, except for there's a little avocado carpet. So you can overlook that. It's going to be at 450 neighborhood, big backyard. And then there's also a side entrance for like if someone has a business. The person there cut hair for a living. She cut my hair when I was about 5. So, anyways, so there's like a really nice office space in the basement that is attached. You can get to it from the house, but also has a nice side entrance. So that will be coming on Thursday. The address is 1540 Fulham Street. Fulham. Fulham.
Anybody else? Anything coming soon, fire me? Then.
There she is.
Yeah, the city, just got 4 years, it's like basketball on postcards. Follow along.
This one here, Lynn?
Oh, I just wanted to say that simply a recipe card, I'm honest, 9-10 times a year. A $300,000 one there on 10 acres. 4 years of Anonymous, and we listed it. I really didn't do anything. I'm not taking any credit. We didn't do anything beyond that. And then the little yellow one next to it came off Google.
They're
Did another one off Google over the weekend too. That's got up there.
We're close to in Moose Lake. Very close. A hop, skip, and a jump. Make that happen. Lisa. Right. Tell us a little bit about 14340 Ebony Lane in Apple Valley.
So I've been marketing to family law attorneys for the past couple years. And when I say marketing, I mean heavily. And been putting myself in their world. And so I went to a luncheon a couple weeks ago, and attorney I'd never met, introduced myself, and she's like, "Oh, give me your card. We have some clients who can't decide on a realtor. Maybe I'll just throw another name in there." I'm like, okay, whatever. And so then I get a phone call from the wife saying, "Yep, husband's attorney recommended you and we're hiring you." Let's do that. So
That is awesome.
I know that was the easiest listing in a long time, and it was after years of hard work. So
Yeah.
we got an offer yesterday.
We got an offer. It's fantastic. Like offers.
Yeah, fire me.
So. And I also sent out this morning, if you can't join us in here to watch this on Zoom, you'll have the ability to register to watch it on your own. This is Josh Freiberg. The region had sent this out. It's a business accelerator. It's calling it, but mid-year reset. Celebrate the wins from Q1, Q2. Identify custom strength-based strategies for success for the remainder of 2023. And commit to productive actions which create energy and motivation. My only concern, and I'll just keep checking it, is I did register again this morning as well as ago. I've not gotten the link yet for it, so hoping that we will be watching it in here now at 10:30.
We hop on. Oh, might be a little. But next Tuesday after the team meeting, we will have Seth and Amanda Donatel here. They are going to be doing a renovation sales workshop for agents. So they'll be kind of talking through all of the pre-sale renovation stuff that they offer, as well as scripts for you guys to have those conversations with your clients. So renovation sales, they're your pre-sale renovation expert. So they design and produce cosmetic improvements, resulting in those higher priced home sales for the sellers. So yeah, they'll be here next Tuesday. They're also bringing breakfast for the team meeting. So just make sure you're here in person. We'll also try and Zoom the class as well. Just got to see kind of their setup, but hopefully we'll be able to Zoom it for everyone online. Thanks. So I talked about this a couple months ago, the free farmers market with Keystone Community Services. So we've done food drives with them in the past and have partnered with them on a few different events. So we got a group, we have a date. I know when I talked about it a month or so ago, we didn't have a date quite yet. So Friday, August 4th from 9 a.m. to 12:30 at the Roseville Covenant Church, which I think is only in like 10 minutes from here at the office. So they can take about 10 of us. We have about 5 people that had previously shown interest that are signed up. But we're looking for about 5 to 6 more people who want to come for this event. So you're able to bring a kiddo if you have kids that are home from the summer and you want to bring them with. We just only have about 5 or 6 more spots available. So email me if you're interested. It's a Friday morning. It's only 3.5 hours. Hopefully we'll have some nice weather. It's outside. Yeah, and we'll just give back to our community.
All right, if you have not done so already, we're going to keep showing it every week in your flip charts, but be sure to register for the boat cruise.
Who's already signed up?
Sign up, raise your hand if you've signed up. Okay, if you're in this room and you haven't signed up, why?
In that code right now,
Why?
or I will make Isaac throw you out.
I gotta be honest.
Yeah, starting with science.
Luckily, he's not here. That's why you were my go-to.
I mean, guys, this was like, kind of runs like side by side with Rosie's as far as.
Perfect weather, perfect day. Of course, I can't.
Good news is,
Yeah, we can.
You have to do it on a computer, right?
So there's.
I don't know if we wouldn't change that. I might have not have it exactly the way. It's I'm gonna go change that, and when he's done, we're gonna come back to that slide.
in Market Center 427, there's a job opening.
Hey, if you could spell that.
No, she's leaving. This is why I love her. This is it right here. You guys honestly show, you know what, we're excited to do this. I think as the market has been what it's been this year, we've encountered challenges that maybe we haven't experienced. Some of us maybe never, and some of us not for a long time. Way to make it through this is together. The way to make it through, the way to make it better, way to have conversations about what you're experiencing with other agents so that you can, one, we complain a little bit together, but we also have an opportunity to say, hey, it's worked for me. So this is a great opportunity, I think, to show up. Hopefully we have a beautiful day, but if we don't, there's still a covered portion of it. There's going to be some good food and then there's a cash bar. So that'll be fun for all of us. All right, go ahead. All right, guys, so I'm going to jump in here and we're going to talk about a few things. I've had some coaching recently, both internally and externally, and all of my conversations, nearly all of them have come back to the same ideas. So first, many of you are familiar with playbooks that we have access to. Okay, so a few of us. If you're an agent and you do not know or have not used your playbooks before, in Codebook, Mortgage Hacks, which you can also reach out and talk to some of the people here about this. You guys, you're missing out. Why do we work for KW?
Cool.
because we have systems and tools, right? We have models and systems. And in this particular case, you guys, most of our competition, most of the other brokerages have not gone as far to actually create playbooks for agents to institute in their business. Right? These are shortcuts. These are hacks. These are taking principles of our models and systems, and it's putting it in a way that you guys can implement nearly immediately. So, want to learn more about social media, right? We all have questions about social media, how we can use it more effectively. We have a playbook for that, right? Seminars, how to host buyer and seller seminars and other seminars that you might have, how to promote them and how to get the most activity to that, okay? We have 72 sold newsletters. How many of you are using a newsletter right now? Many, okay? Again, these are touches. Lynn had mentioned how she had gotten one of those listings, which was a simple tactic of sending a note card, right? Same thing with what we have here in terms of newsletters. Again, it's just another way to be in communication, stay top of mind with our people, okay? So I want, as I go through what I want to next, I want you guys to think about this, and that is, what are you doing to stay visible? What are you doing to stay in touch? What are you doing to remain the resource for things real estate for your people? Let's say that you guys set a goal earlier this year to close 30 transactions, okay? You had an idea that you were going to set 30 transactions at the beginning of the year. In that, we found that maybe the spring market and early summer market for us was a little bit different than we expected, right? And so what happened is that many of us, many of you, many of the people that I'm meeting with found that they're at a point in their year where 30 seems like a big number, right? Maybe you're at 6 or 10 transactions for the year so far. This is where you actually are to this point. So the question I have is, write down. That's not annoying at all. All right, so you know that you're at 30, you know your goal is 30, you're at 6 to 10 of actual for this year, and so you're tracking far less than where you wanted to be for the year. My question to you is, what do? You change the goal, you change the activity. What are we going to change in order to effectively get through the rest of the year? Are we going to change our goal? No, we don't change the goal, we change the activity, you guys. And so a lot of us are feeling like our activities look a little bit like this. Right? We're kind of all over the board right now, right? We're trying new things, we're listening to new things, we're implementing new things. And that causes, I think, for most of the people I've met with you guys, this wiggly line is chaos, and chaos creates anxiety and frustration. So what I want you guys to think about is, what are the activities that you've done, that you've committed to, that you haven't changed this year? Are they working? I would argue this. Work you're doing today, the activities you've committed to today are going to be the business that you have in 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. So while many of you feel like that chaos that your business is in, and complete and utter, like we're running here, we're running there, I'm having conversations I haven't had in a long time. Is the market good? Is the market bad? Where, what does that mean? I think the reality, guys, is that it comes down to something very basic. And that is, let's set the goal for 30, right? Let's identify tactics. Let's stay the course. I think oftentimes when the market is a little bit more chaotic is what we're experiencing today, or at least not something that we've seen in the last few years. Our tendency is to go to this place where we go, I don't know what to do. The things I used to do aren't having they're not having any major impact. I got to change it. I argue this. Using the things that we know work and doing that consistently is going to mean many additional opportunities for your business as opposed to taking that left right now. I'm going to do this differently. I'm going to do this differently. So while we have some time this morning that we don't usually have in our team meetings, let's talk about openly about some of the things that are working for you guys. Then I'm going to get into the database assessment playbook, and we're going to go over some of this came out of an agent mastermind with Gary late last year, earlier this year, and I want to go over some unique touches. But let's talk about what's working right now for you guys. Anybody want to start and what's actually working for them? Calling somebody. Go ahead.
3 of the families that I'm working with right now are from doing something that when I first met JP, I was like, what do I do? I have no idea what to do. I had no direction. So 3 of the families that right now, I'm sure in some way I could contribute the rest to it. Maybe 4. But all just from my touches on Facebook or message. All of them. So the 6 a.m. call this morning was a new mom. I check in with her once every couple weeks because she's having a really hard and she had another agent last year. And I everything not that check in. The other one was a woman that I stayed in contact with through Facebook Messenger that I used to teach with 10 years ago, and her daughter needs sell and buy. And the other one is another teacher that I just connected with once every like 3 months. Should have been more, but I keep forgetting. And I'm helping her parent. So we're going out today. So it's something, it sounds so easy. I do sometimes back on it, but every time I'm consistent, I end up getting clients.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. I think that there's a tendency in our business oftentimes to believe that simple isn't going to work. And so I need to either pay for leads, I need to pay for a new system, I need to pay for leads, or I need to pay for a new system. I need to move away from the things that are consistent to things that are more difficult, because the difficulty is what we tell ourselves is what's going to work. When in reality, most of our experiences would be is that the simplicity, the things we can do with consistency as a habit are the things that are not oftentimes, I would argue almost all of the time are going to pay dividends long term. It's not the big things, it's not buying more leads, it's doing the things that you know you should be doing, like sending a message, which is simple. It's a passive engagement, meaning that it's on their terms for them to respond. Go ahead. What somebody wanted to know. Does anybody else want to go? We'd love you. Yeah.
So I do some things, but I would like to do more of these things.
Yeah.
But I focus on Santee Park neighborhood in St. Paul. And I do a monthly advertisement in the neighborhood newspaper. I volunteer for several things in the neighborhood on a 4th of July parade and event. I volunteer for the garden club and plant a plant sale. So, and then my kid also goes to school in the neighborhood and we live in the neighborhood. So that also helps. We occasionally go to a church. So I think that those touches like help me get to know people within this neighborhood. I'm just trying to like really focus on where I live.
So what I want to dig a little bit deeper on this, because I think that this is a often missed avenue for agent engagement. And really what you're doing is you're creating a farm, right? How big is St. Anthony Park?
About 2,000 families.
2,000 families. So what does that look like? About a 8x8, 10x10?
It's really odd shaped neighborhood. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Okay.
No worries. The reason I ask is that to do that, right, you start to get involved, you start to show up, you start to be present, do a little advertising, you send some mailers to that community, right? And I've said this, I've shared this with you guys before, but Inman had a study that they did that identified how someone engages in their area. He created a fake agent and they marketed that agent for 12 months. So they went into a community and they asked everybody in that community, who's the number one agent in your area? After a year, they came back and in that year, they created a bot agent, a fake agent, and they marketed to that community this fake agent. When they went back and asked the people in that neighborhood, who's the number one agent? Majority of these people, I don't have the specific numbers, but a majority of the people in this neighborhood chose fake agent, right? This is after 1 year. This is not a real person. This is no one that actually did closings, you guys. All they did was market to a very specific area. And in that very specific area, they all of a sudden became a resource, even though no one had actually reached out to this person. They didn't exist. To your point, Colleen, is running a community. So just repeat some of the things that you're doing in that area that are creating an opportunity for you to be a resource for this community.
The monthly news ad,
Yep.
just like $240 a month. I feel like that's a lot. And then I do a neighborhood 4th of July event. There's 6 of us on the event. Probably 5,000 people come to that event on a nice weather day. And then I also do a garden club plant sale. I'm on the garden club or in the garden club.
Do you like gardening?
Yes. I go to a monthly garden club meeting. I guess I don't really market myself at it, but it's just touches where I talk to people and they see my ads. You know what I mean? It's just another way to be involved.
I think that I really appreciate you sharing that because I think a lot of times we assume that lead generation prospecting has to be something we don't like. It has to be work. So I'm going to sit down and I'm going to cold call for 4 hours. How many of us want to do that? How many of us would rather go to a garden club? I'm not a green thumb and I would rather go to a gardening club, right? Honestly. That's fantastic. I appreciate that. Is there anything else that you do in that community that you'd suggest to everybody else if they wanted to do this sort of lead generation?
Well, I think you really touched on it with like getting involved in something that you like. I'm a former event planner. And so, you know, with the garden club, I plan the plant sale.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And so I guess I'm kind of leaning into things that I enjoy doing. And, you know, so I think like focusing in the neighborhood of what you like to do.
Yeah.
And I guess because that's going to come off as the most authentic self. And I think people can really sniff authenticity out. And I think people hire authenticity as well.
I do too. No, that is fantastic. You guys, I think that, and let's keep on this train for a minute. What are some of the other things that you could do? I want to reiterate this. I think oftentimes we assume that work has to be tough in order for it to be successful, right? We have to assume that I got to be grinding it out in order for me to hit my goal. I think the opposite is legitimately true. Being authentic, finding things that you want to do, things that you want to be a part of. Let's talk about that. What are some other things that you can do that you can be a part of events, right? Or you can participate in a community, whether that community is a local, it's a real place, or whether that community is people. What are some of the things that you guys can do? Be involved at a level that makes this more fun. What other areas can you generate community through that you can be a part of? Any ideas? Softball, I'll start. Gardening clubs. What are some of the other things that you can be a part of that actually make your life worth living, right? And creating a business objective life by design. Being bold, you guys, is about creating what you want out of life, not just going, oh, I got to go to the office 9 to 11 and I have to lead generate and I hate my life. And we don't do it because we don't want to do it, right? What can we do? What are the other things that we can do?
Eat.
Said eat. What did you say? TO. Parent teacher organizations, right? That's fun, right? Go ahead.
Seriously, the eating thing. So a buddy of mine who's an LO for 15 years with an app, we do food reviews. So we go around and the idea started out with coming out of COVID, some of these mom and pop restaurants had to get them a little bit more exposure out there. So we started doing food reviews at my pop shops, locally owned businesses. And they're a lot of fun. Get a reason to eat. I like to eat. And we get a lot of laughs out of them. So he's gotten to the point where he can do the video, he can do the recording. He's gotten really good at it because he loves doing it and he knocks it out in 45 minutes, an hour, and it's thousands of views. Yeah. So it helps out with that piece there. Occasionally we'll slide in business aspect. Go to for paper. Helps like that. Hats and things like that.
What helps me, what allows me to be able to do things like that. So a lot was hiring a able system.
So I got a cyber bag. I'm super excited about that. It's allowed me to do other branding, marketing, and the result is every time I get up somewhere,
I get folks see the
recognizing me for reviews or just because I'm on
and there's meetings
for all kinds of
things.
and I think 90%, maybe
95% of the stuff I do, it's just LinkedIn, it's and Facebook.
90 to 95% of it, it's not me doing it because I've leveraged the process. So it's pretty consistent
And supportable.
especially for
Visibility, you guys, means a lot of different things. Again, we can pay for visibility. We can create organic visibility by doing things like this, right? By participating in a different level, by sharing what we do. One of the things that I would say that you can tell, and you guys can pick. How many of you follow? I know that she's not on because she is in Africa right now. How many of you follow Solange? Okay. Solange engagement is very different than I think a lot of our agent engagement. It's unapologetically her. It's authentic to her. And it gets a ton of views. It's a ton of in the community that she's focused on, she's generating more views and more visibility in that market. That results in her getting deals that she wouldn't have otherwise gotten. And some of it's things that are dance. Shaking her booty on it. Now, I swear to God, if you guys start doing some of that, I won't do it. But if you don't do it, I'm going to start shaking my booty on camera. And I swear people are going to get sick. Okay. So you guys be about doing whatever it is. You don't have to get on and dance, right? But be authentically you in that place, whether you're doing food reviews. One of the interesting ones I saw out of an agent from Austin, Texas, park reviews, their community. Like, take your kids to these parks. Right? This is a great park. It's got a basketball hoop. It's got sand volleyball courts. It's got, depending on where it's at, maybe it has some like needles from people who have been sharing needles in the park. No, but again, you guys, getting more serious about some of these things in your community. I don't know if you guys have followed him or not. Matt Johnson's an agent from KW Woodbury. And for the last decade or so, Matt has been producing content about Woodbury, about new companies that come in. He's a part of the chamber. Because of that, he interviews new businesses to the area. He goes out and does some park stuff. Those are the sorts of things. So he's tied into the business community in Woodbury. And for him, he gets about 30% of his business from that. And he has a very good business. I want you to think about some of that. Any other ways that you're doing something right now that you, one, like to do, and two, is providing you an opportunity to meet more people? Community.
Our community is,
To me,
community
is a geographic opportunity to speak. So, like, the weekend, I was shopping, for the highway,
I was doing shopping. Yeah.
Oh,
Another. The VFW, I got a listing.
That was like weird. But
We got it along enough. And then last week, Ashley. Totally unrelated, but I always laugh. The horses have to pay for the. I need to get business from.
Yep.
It's not aggressive, passive. I have a listing. I got a maker horse setup. It's fabulous.
you know, I'll give I would give a shout out to Lynn. One, keep us between the lines. It's been a very busy year for that part of our business. Two, you have done something this year, and granted, I didn't know you very well last year. One of the things that I've been watching with you is all year long, you have been sourcing business way that you always source business in the case of relationships, and also adding something like Google to your business, with the things that have done. So encouragement is that if you want to grow your business and you're finding yourself at a plateau, if I think about what Lynn did, right, she's continued to do all the things that she's always done, adding something that she can get really good at and create additional opportunities for her and her team, right? This is some of the ideas that get really good at one part of your business, part of lead gen, one part of engagement, right? You can start to add some other things. Even in a market that other agents are saying, I'm getting a lot less business. I'll give you two examples, you guys. I've met with an agent from Edina Realty. Last year did 33 deals. This year he's done 4 deals. I'm not kidding. He's done 4 deals. I met with another agent the other day. That agent, not quite as many deals, has only done 1.5 deals this year. They were in the mid 20s of their business last year. So in that case, why do we think that those agents have seen such a significant decrease in their business, right? Is it because they're not doing anything? Probably not. That's not it. I know that they're still doing things in their business, but the chances are that they weren't doing them systematically. Right? They weren't following a playbook. There was no rhyme or reason to it. They were depending on their office manager to tell them what to do. And then when the market shifted, that office manager had a limited impact on the ability to fit and show them, hey, these are some activities you can do. Right? So while I love our conversation today, and I think that this is an integral opportunity for each of us to find new ways to do business, I also think that we should be grateful for the idea that there are people that are doing it far better than I'm doing it, far better than we're doing it at the local market. And we're putting this information in place for you to actually use it, right? This isn't just like, hey, you should try this. These are actual playbooks to say, this is how to do an open house. This is how to do seminars. This is what has really worked for high producing, high performing, highly leveraged agents, right? No one wants to be in business, you guys. None of us want to be in business and to recreate the wheel. If you do want to recreate the wheel, arguably, I'll tell you, it's probably a waste of your time. Right? If you do the things that other people are doing at a high level and you tweak it so that it fits your life and your business, that tweak is going to make you want to do it, but following the system is going to make sure you do it. So I've said this oftentimes here, I've said it in other places. What's usually the difference between success and short failure? But what precedes that? Activity. What do we need when we have activity? We need accountability. Accountability, oftentimes we think you have to pay a coach a lot of money to be accountable, right? You're going to call somebody and you got to do, oftentimes it's far less than you can imagine. 1 and 2, Finding somebody that has your best interest in mind. And I know because I've been in the market center long enough to realize now that each of you has somebody that you care about and they care about you. Each of you has somebody you've connected well with. If you got together with that person once a week and instead of talking about all the drama and all the ups and the downs and all the things you're facing, said, Isaac, here are your numbers for the week. How are you? Good. That's great. Where are your numbers? Did you hit your goal for the week? No, kind of, maybe, right? Yeah, right. Move a little bit and we're gonna, yeah, I did this. This worked really well. That's not the question I asked, Isaac. Did you make your calls? Did you hit your numbers? I didn't. What are you gonna do next week to ensure you do hit your numbers? It doesn't need to be me. It doesn't need to be Carrie. It doesn't need to be Todd. It needs to be somebody that you feel like if you're gonna let yourself down, how do you give up on yourself? More often than you should. Right? Doesn't just have to be about work. It could be about anything. It could be about learning a new skill. It could be about getting into healthy habits. It could be about drinking water. If Sean Corby was here, he would laugh at that.
I'm giving up too.
Right?
Because I like driving.
Right? But that's it. So what happens, you guys, is we give up on ourselves so frequently and we become accustomed to the idea that we just didn't get there. Right? But when you have an accountability partner, when somebody calls you every morning at 7:45 and says, what do your numbers look like? How are we? What did we learn yesterday? Who did we talk to? If you're in communication as a team leader with somebody from outside of our market center and somebody inside of our market center every single day, I can tell you what the market looks like. And I know this. I know we don't give up on ourselves out of a desire to give up, to quit. We quit because we're used to quitting. We quit because sometimes it just isn't what I wanted. It's a little harder than I thought. And then what happens is we have the regret of not getting there. So one of the things that I want you to leave here today is get an accountability partner. Find somebody that you respect enough so that you can call and not let them down. If Travis and Grant were in here, Travis and Grant go to the gym every morning at what, 5 a.m.? 5 a.m. Every morning. You know why they both show up? Because they know the other is going to be there. And they're going to do hard lifting and it's not going to be fun. And in that hour though, however much time they're spending there, they're committed to each other, they're committed to the outcome, and they're committed to doing the work. Right? My suggestion is find somebody that is going to hold you accountable, not just somebody who's going to let you get off the hook. Right? Find somebody that says, hey, Lisa, if you want, what you've identified in your big why and in your goal, if you want that, Lisa, I'm here to make sure that you do it. I'm here to make sure that you hit that goal. There's always going to be a reason to quit. There's always going to be a reason why I fell into a hole and I bruised my whole side. And we have a golf tournament together. So the guy's got to get its swing together. Otherwise, we're going to be in trouble. Right. But my point is there's always going to be a reason to quit, you guys. How many times are you going to quit on yourself, on your goal, on what a life like this could look like for you if you just held yourself accountable with somebody else who you felt was somebody you didn't want to let down? All right. So the last 5 minutes, guys, we're going to go into some unique touches really quick that came out of your database assessment playbook. Okay. We are going to talk more and more every single week about two topics, MREA and command. What separates us as agents first is MREA. How many of you have read it all the way through? At least once. Okay. If you didn't, on a beautiful day like today, if you have nothing going on this afternoon, the first thing you're going to do is find an accountability partner. The second thing you do is you're going to read MREA and you're going to start. We are going to start MREA. What did we say? Yeah, mega camp. Yes. We're going to start this and we're going to do it Tuesdays over lunch and we're going to do it. We're going to run this all year long for the rest of because if we're not using that, if we're not teaching that, we're not using the baseline of why our company is different, right? We're starting with that. If we're starting with MREA and then lost my train of thought on what the other one. It must have been important. So we're going to start with that, you guys. Oh, command. Sorry, you guys. We get to see command from the backside in terms of users. And I know that as real estate agents, we all kind of shoot from the hip. We all like to keep it running. We all like to do these things. But here's the thing, you guys. We're not building a database. You're actually not building your business. You're going to be an order taker and you're going to miss out on so many opportunities because you're not focused on the commitment to making sure you're entering this. I would love for all of us to use, well, if you're not using Command, you should have a damn good reason why. If it's that you have another program that you use and you use it and you use it well and you use it consistently, I'm not going to harp on you. But if you're not using Command right now and you're not using any other CRM, you're missing one in every three shots that you would have on goal. You're missing one of them at least. I'd argue potentially in long-term more, because as it shakes out, you're going to see that your friend listed with somebody else, a past client listed with somebody else. And occasionally we'll go, oh, that's no big deal. That's their sister-in-law. But the truth is you're missing out on those opportunities. All right, we're going to move through these really quick. Unique touches that came out of Gary's mastermind from late last year and earlier this year. Something like a golf tournament. You're a golfer, you like golfers, doing some golf tournaments. There are a lot of charity tournaments that happen all summer long. SPAR, MAR, Minnesota Realtors, and some of the offshoots, and I don't know that NAREP is doing one, ARIA, NAREP. Look at some of these organizations and look at the things that they're doing that are fun and are related to charity, and go get out there, go have fun, go play in a golf tournament if you like to golf. If Tia was here, we could talk. Shredding party. We did this in the spring, you guys, so this isn't new to our market center. Truck removal, same thing. Window cleaning. This particular window cleaning advice, I reached out. They contacted with a local company and they gave away 10 free window cleanings. It cost them about $200 a home, which was a discount. Imagine giving away to your audience. And you can run it like a raffle. You could do a number of different things to do it, but using social media to say, I'm giving away 10 window cleanings between now and the end of August for people here. And you have to do this, this, and this, right? No, like my page, comment, and share. Something as simple as that, right? Or there's a number of things. Come see me if we want to talk more about that. I think that's cool. Again, coming from contribution is an awesome way to engage your client list. This one also said gutter cleaning, yard waste bags that have your logo on them or your contact information. Because where do those bags sit for 2 to 5 days in the fall? On the curb with your name on it. Right? I like the idea. Ice cream truck, bringing an ice cream social to an organization. Maybe you're trying to get into one of the local companies here in what's the one down the road? CPC. We're going to go in and say, hey, my name is Isaac Contreras. I would like to host an ice cream social in your parking lot, and you're going to pay $400 to have an ice cream truck come in for an hour over their break time in the early afternoon, and you're going to be there to greet people. It's a few $100s, but it's going to get you in a massive amount of visibility. Community block party. August 1st is what? Light out. How many of you are doing something? I know that a couple of you have already mentioned it to me, right? So you're doing something in those areas. Charity drives. You know that. It says pie giveaway. I thought it said pig giveaway. Who's giving away pigs? Pie giveaway. We know that. Santa pictures in the fall. We know that. Grinch pictures. That could be fun too, right? Instead of hiring Santa, you hire the Grinch. Could be fun. Easter bunny pictures. Nobody wants that. The Easter bunny's freaky. Get away from the Easter bunny. Movie in the park. How many of you guys have seen, there are companies that rent out these inflatable movie screens. They'll deliver all of it for about $650, and you can do it in a local park. Contact the municipality and see what the rental rights are and how many people. Again, for $1,000, you could probably, with some of your affiliates, for $1,000 of your own investment, you could do a movie in the park that would be really cool and something that nobody'd ever experienced before. And you could bring in some of your affiliates. You could maybe have a food truck there. You could do some cookie stuff. There's a lot of different stuff you could do there. I like that idea. We talked about seminars, wine tours. There are a couple of wineries, hidden gems here in the Twin Cities that aren't far. There's one up in Chisago called Wine Haven, really good. It's got the backside of it's super cool. Mark Asperson, you and I had talked about this, Wings North. Wings, that's what it is, right? We were gonna host and it just got out of what we were doing at the time, but we were gonna do a day where we were hosting a clay pigeon event. Right? So, well, that's a cool idea and it's not super expensive. And if you've ever been up there, they've got all these tracks you can go out and shoot, and you can do live hunts too. You can do live hunts as well. Again, thinking about what your audience looks like, Zoom events, Cameo touches. You guys familiar with Cameo? You can get like B-list celebrities to give like shout outs.
Last, my favorite job here.
With General Hospital.
General Hospital? I watched.
Like, I don't have time to watch this. You're always working here. Where do you watch soap operas? But okay, right? You can do some cool things like that. That again, you guys, it's not very expensive. It's kind of fun. They record a quick clip and you send it out. It's actually super cool. Somebody did it with Jeff Bridges for me a few years ago. That's the dude from Big Lebowski. It was super cool. Branded treat giveaways, and then I'll wrap this up. We'll go really quick, you guys. Hand deliver 10 coffees a month to your sphere of influence. If you took a Thursday morning and you went around and you said, hey, so what is your favorite coffee? What do you like in your coffee? And then I found a way to deliver it to her where she works or lives. Again, it's an easy touch. You don't have to spend all day with them. You didn't have to go to coffee with them, but you still got the benefit of the touch. Picture with pets. You can support, bring in a photographer and have people bring their pets in, right? That sounds not like something I'd want to be a part of, but so messy. Onesies delivered for expectant families. We have a couple of onesies that say something cutesy on them, and again, that's a word, I think. And I'm the one giving you crap about watching General Hospital, and I use the word called. Pumpkin patch, swag giveaways. How many of you actually have your logo for your business? How many of you have a logo for your business? How many of you are using it on printed material, swag material, and actually wearing it and handing it out? Not today. I mean, I've seen you wear it before. Again, you guys, this is an easy way to start conversations. One, and two, oh, I don't have it here. I have a mug that I use pretty frequently, and it is it's branded. Right? And so I'm constantly sharing with that person. City tours. This is a cool thing that I saw of is that you hire somebody who's familiar with the Twin Cities and you go on a city tour. You do a specific area, you meet in a location, and then you do like, we're gonna go through downtown St. Paul or Lower Town. We're gonna point out points of interest, and it'll be a nice night out. You know, it's a good way to do it. Yoga. Mixology classes, Christmas lights tour. You can do this on a bus. There are a couple of companies in town that do this already. Game night. This is free. You could host game night at your house. Yes.
Does the game night. He has huge success. Loves it. It's made some great friends that also again are in that network with him and referring, but that's a huge one it's gone into.
Love it. All right, guys, there's a lot more on here and I have a full nother page of it. So I want you, if you get a chance today, to go online, download the database assessment playbook. And before the end of July, you have 14 days. Do yourself a favor. Get your database together. Get your command in order. Even if you don't know how to do what you need to do yet, Sean is here. Sean will help you. Let's start planning one of these events that's in this for third quarter or fourth quarter of this year to engage your database, guys. That's all I got for today. Thanks for coming to the team meeting, everybody. Appreciate you.
You are staying for Josh Freiberg. We're gonna pop that on right now. I'm gonna ask, based on what he was just talking about, or really, if you don't have your goals for the rest of the year set and planned out, do that. Think about it right now, because next Tuesday, we're actually gonna hand out goal sheets. They're kind of similar to like how we set our goals.